Rob, are you there at 6 o'clock? For those who are on, at 6 o'clock, we'll be starting in just a minute. Rob Gillespie is setting up his slides.
All right, everybody. I guess we are here and we are live. We're starting video here and sharing the screen. Let's see here. Are we sharing the correct screen, guys, Gary?
Yeah, it's the one that says how to get your rehab done on time and on budget with a picture of my house.
With a picture of your house with a lien on it. How's that?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'll be here all week. Tip your waitress. So welcome, everybody, to the second Tuesday of the month. It is 6:01 p.m., and I am your host here, Rob the House Guy, and welcome to our virtual RIA meeting. And I think it's been about a year now that we've been saying that we can't wait to get back into meeting live, and it's still not happening, hopefully soon. But we have maintained quite a bit of traction during all of this and had a lot of great meetings, a lot of great content, a lot of great guests, met a lot of new people, and I think that a lot of us have made Zoom our new best friend through all of this process here. So I'm going to talk all about rehabs and getting them done on time and on budget. A lot of problems that are with COVID right now did not solve other problems of the world, such as dealing with contractors and getting rehabs and buying and selling and all the other things that are continuing to go forth. We still need to educate ourselves on and learn how to move forward with them. So one second, I'm going to plug this in here. I forgot to plug in my little clicker thing. How's that? Let's see if I'm fancy now. Did it work? Okay, so Greater Cleveland RIA exists for networking and educational purposes. When you meet or make a connection through our on or offline networking event, it is your responsibility to take time to do your own due diligence and make your own informed decisions on doing or not doing business with that individual or company. Although you may get advice in our group from one of our many experienced members, vendors, or folks on the leadership team, please seek your own paid professional counsel to verify any information picked up during one of our events. In other words, please take responsibility for your own actions. So here's what you can expect tonight. We're going to be going through and spending a few minutes and introducing our vendors. And for all the attendees on the call, you can put the questions and answers in the box, which I am not going to be looking at tonight, so Gary will have to interrupt and read them to me, but we will do what we can to get them answered. I actually happen to be the host and the guest speaker tonight, so yay, you get double dose of Rob. How's that? And we're going to keep it all in just about an hour, and I think we're all pretty good at that. I don't know if we've ever really gone over our 7 p.m. mark. We always try to hit it right around there, so respectful of your time. If you missed anything, you can visit our Facebook page. It's the Greater Cleveland RIA page, and there is the link for it. And I think we're over 500 members now, and that's a good thing because there's a lot of properties being passed around on there, off-market deals, connections being made, relationships being made. It's a great page to be a part of. So let's go ahead and get everything started here. Let's start here with the iPlan Group. The iPlan Group is a self-directed IRA custodian. These guys are experts in the self-directed field for your solo 401k, self-directed IRAs, and redirecting your retirement funds towards real estate or notes or anything outside of the normal stock market things that you can think of. You can give Roberta Hootie a call at 216-337-3231. Triple D LLC, these guys do the tough stuff. Don Campbell, if you're looking at that house right there that's jacked up on 4x4s, I think they're 6x6s actually, that is a basement that was put under that house. You can jack up houses, put concrete block in, waterproof, put in gas lines, all the things that are really tough that scare most people away. They don't scare this guy away, and he can get them done. You can give Don a call at 216-326-1775. MDG Flooring right here in Medina, Ohio. These guys do amazing work, and they have every choice under the sun you can imagine, from a hardwood, solid surface, ceramic, marble, carpet, you name it, they can do it, from just the basic rehab to a really nice high-end fix and flip. And here's the best part about it. They have the tool belt and the truck pricing with the awesome professionalism of a big company. So you can walk in, pick your product, get it put down, and get a bill, and they handle all the drama. That's what I love about them. You can give Steve a call at 330-304-7786. Service sold. Actually, someone's going to speak a little bit tonight. Our own Mike Dennis is on here, and this is a service where you can actually put reverse bidding up on your jobs, and he's going to talk a lot more about that later. You can go to servicesold.com, or you can call Mike at 915-400-7653. Just don't call him during this hour, please. Professional Eye Home Inspections. This is a independent person that will look at your property and give an inspection and take the emotion out of it. So whether you're a local investor that just doesn't know what you're looking at when it's time to do a home inspection, or maybe you're out of state and you just need someone with an honest eye to tell you what's really going on with that property, you can call Matt at 216-299-1375. Morningstar Property Cleanup. I know him as Leroy Kime. Roy is the cleanup specialist to come by with a dump trailer and some labor and clean up either roof tear-offs or clean-outs on houses, evictions, move-outs. You name it, Roy can do it at 330-410-8304. And at the other end of that is J-Dog, another type of Leroy Kime deal. J-Dog is a larger company, it's a franchise that actually supports our local or our national military. And they are out of Brunswick, Ohio. They have dump trailers, labor, do all the same stuff. Very reliable company to come in and get your place cleaned up and get ready to get it onto the market. You can call Kelly Barnes at 330-242-3069. Preferred Security. Over there, Joan Moran. This is a portable, non-contract security system. Really, really a very powerful system. It goes into a bucket. It has motion sensors, and it works off of cell phone towers. And it will text you if doors open, motions are detected, and it can stop your furnace or water tank from growing legs. Ask me how I know. Give Joan a call at 440-821-1037. Auction.com. And the website says it all, auction.com. These guys are becoming the leader in national auctions for all the sheriff sales. You can bid from the comfort of your own home, which seems like we're doing a lot of things from our own home these days with COVID around. And you can go on there and bid on asset-owned properties by banks and foreclosures, occupied properties, and vacant properties. Very easy to work with. If you have any questions, give Susan a call over there at 216-924-0828, and they are a national company. Fairway Mortgage, Rich Bailey. Guy is an amazing loan officer that has been doing this for 2 decades. So whether you're trying to finance your own investment properties, maybe you're buying a home for yourself or trying to get one of your tenants financed, Rich will definitely be an honest, truthful guy to tell you if it's possible or not. Problem with a lot of loan officers is they tell you what you want to hear and it doesn't get the deal closed. Rich will tell you what you need to hear and get the deal closed. You can give Rich a call at 330-571-2692. Russo and Ricky. That is Mike and Angela over there at Russo and Ricky Law Firm. These guys can handle all your business and contract law as well as eviction law. You can give them a call at 440-447-0331. Farmers Insurance. Michael Norris, he is not a captive agent. He has multiple companies that he can work with. And the great thing about Mike, he even does vacant properties, which is a big deal. Vacant properties are a little tougher to get insured, but he knows the type of insurance to put on the property that's going to keep you covered the best at the best price. You can give Mike a call at 216-831-0400. David Streeter, attorney at law, also here in the Cleveland area and handles evictions, foreclosures, represents you in housing court. Anything that you need to do with some real estate law, David Streeter has some answers. This is his direct cell phone. You can call or text at 216-407-6644. North Coast Commercial Group, Neil Wolf. Neil Wolf, he says maybe when banks say no. He is a private money lender, and he also does a lot of lending for foreign nationals, folks out of the country, the people that might have a lot of investment properties that pass the 4 mark with the normal loans they can get from banks. He can do portfolio loans, competitive rates, very easy to work with, great guy, very knowledgeable. Give him a call at 440-364-9954. And Equity Trust, the 800-pound gorilla for self-directed custodians. They're located in Westlake, Ohio. And actually, since that picture's been taken, there's a second building that size there. These guys do a lot of education and put a lot of things together for people to understand how to do rollovers to their 401ks. Actually, Dick Desich is one of the guys that got the law for doing self-directed going back in the 70s. You can give these guys a call at 440-323-5491. We have the Open Mind LLC. for painting, cleanup, touch up after rental properties get vacated and ready to fill up again. These folks do it all. They do a great job. I personally use Rebecca. She does a wonderful job. She comes in, gets it done. No excuses, no drama. That's what I love. So if you have a rental move out, or maybe you bought a house that needs some lipstick on it, give Rebecca a call at 216-224-2999. Specialized Trust Company, my buddy here, Alan Bruschi. Alan Bruschi here may have a number that looks out of state, but he is very local and he can answer your questions. Very easy to work with, very, very knowledgeable. Will really take the time to sit down and explain to you on a personalized level exactly how you can maximize your retirement. I know it sounds like we're talking a lot about different custodians, all wonderful companies. All of them have their specialties. And I'll tell you, Bruschi is a very personalized guy that will sit down and work with you. And you can call him at 505-217-1885. Now it is time. Now we can talk about the main event, about getting your rehab done on time and on budget. I know this probably sounds like I'm telling you how to juggle cats or something that's impossible to do, but it is possible and it's not easy. I should say it's simple and not easy. The things I'm going to tell you are simple and they're systemizable, but you are definitely going to have to work at it. But whether we like it or not, this is such a part of our business because we all get started in this. And here's what we have in mind. This flip this house, flip that house. All these shows on TV make it look so darn easy. They never show any of the problems other than maybe the husband and wife arguing about what color tile to put in the kitchen, or they didn't get the drywall done fast enough. But the truth is, what you have in mind isn't really what usually ends up happening right off the bat. You're picturing going into a beat up house and turning it into a masterpiece like this. And then you show up and it looks more like this. The poor quality, you have the faucet running onto the countertop or the toilet that's blocking the door from being closed. And I wish I could say these are photoshopped, and I can proudly say that they're not in one of my houses, but it's true. It happens. These kind of things go on. Or the contractors just simply leave the job unfinished. They start it, they have good intentions, and then there's communication breakdown, money breakdown, change orders, something happens, and they leave it unfinished. Or maybe they're holding you hostage. They're in the middle of it. And in the middle of this job, everything is upside down, a disaster. You want to get rid of them. And they're holding you hostage with mechanics liens or threatening not to finish or threatening to strip the house back out. Or even worse, sometimes they'll run off with your money. So imagine just for a second, what would it mean for your real estate business? What would it mean if any of the following? What if you could plan and bid all of your products with complete accuracy? How would that feel? How would it feel if you could create a budget and stay on target within a few percent? When you say $10,000, you actually mean $10,000. And maybe it comes in at 11, maybe it comes in at 9, but it's not coming in at 18 or 20 or 22. That's one of the problems with wholesalers. Wholesalers will call me and I ask, how much does the house need? And they'll say somewhere between 10 and 20. That is a 100% jump. You're doubling the cost of that. So it has to be more accurate and more in line and be able to stick to that. And what if you could identify the right contractor for the right job? Think of the times you've hired the wrong contractor. You think that they're the ones, they're there to do the job, and they're just not. They get halfway through it and you realize they're in over their heads. I still remember, gosh, it was years ago, I guess it was about 15 years ago now. I went to one of my rehab jobs and I was really, really pushing to get this thing done. And I walk in and everyone's there working, and that makes me happy. I love when I pull in, I can't get in the driveway because there's so many trucks and vans. I love it more when I go in there and they're actually all doing something. Even more, I don't trip over beer cans. So I go into the restroom there. I go to the bathroom. They're putting the bathroom together. And the guy is sitting on the floor and he has all the tub, faucet, mixer and everything all taken apart, laying on the floor. And he's looking at the instructions. I'm like, okay, cool. This guy here, he really wants to make sure it's done right. Good job, man. You guys are rocking. I'll see everyone tomorrow. I came back the next day. Everything was still moving along. I walked into the bathroom. This dude is still sitting there reading the instructions. I lost it. I'm like, wrong guy, wrong job. You seem like a nice guy, but you can just pack that stuff back up. Whatever I owe you, I'm going to pay you, but it's time you move on, because 2 days of reading instructions is starting to make me nervous. And what if you could manage the contractor and maintain a good working relationship throughout the project without fighting, without cringing when they call you, and things just worked out well for you? And what if that quality of work at the end was what you envisioned? What if you got done and it actually looked like you imagined it looking? And you know what I mean. If anyone's done this that's listening to this right now, you know what I mean. You're picturing how it's going to come out, then you come in, and by the end, you're accepting just about anything to get the people out of your house and to get it done and get on the market. You're getting eaten up by private money cost on the thing. You've got inspectors over there bugging you. You might have it ready to go to market and you're going to miss the hot time of selling before the kids go back to school, or maybe the snow's going to start flying. Whatever it is, you are just fed up and you're starting to settle. So what would happen if you could actually keep it on time and you didn't have to settle? Well, you all know me as Rob the House Guy, the guy who gets up here and flaps my gums every month and talks to the experts in the industry. And normally I'm not the speaker, but sometimes I am. Sometimes I go ahead and I put myself on here because I do have the experience. I've been through a lot of this, and I was thinking, who am I going to put on here? And I didn't want to put contractors on here because they would have put a different spin on it than what we needed to hear as investors. It would have been completely a different side of it. And I think that we need to hear the side we're going over tonight. I've been through massive rehab. You can tell how long I've been doing it. Look how thin I was there. That was before I found the buffet. So, I mean, I've been doing this for years. Large projects, small projects. I even drag my family into this sometimes. Clearly, we're just all doing demo work. We're not putting things back together. Great at demo, not so great at knowing which end of the hammer to hold to put it back together. But nevertheless, we have been through it with the contractors. I have done more remodeling and more contracting over the last couple decades than I care to talk about. And if you tell me that you've had something happen, I guarantee I've had it happen 2 or 3 times and had to figure out a way around it. So with all that said, let's grab a pen and paper here, because I'm going to try to give you some stuff tonight that's going to help you get through this and avoid the pitfalls for the next time. So let's begin with bidding with accuracy. Bidding with accuracy isn't just guessing what it's going to take. You need to know your numbers before you even call contractors out to take a look at it. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of guys and they know how to do the job. Their work is going to be fine, but they don't know how to bid the job. They can't quite figure out their numbers. And I tell you this because there's a lot of times that I've hired contractors and I'd like to say that they overbid the job and they were telling me too high of number. And they weren't telling me too high a number at all. They were telling me too low a number. So let's say that they're going to, I don't know, put a bathroom in and they're telling me it's going to cost them $500 in labor. I know it costs them more than that in labor. I know it's going to take them and another guy and it's going to take them a week. They are not going to make $250 each for that week. Now, that's just an example. I mean, there's a million things I can run across on that. But if you can head it off early and know what that's going to cost and know how much they need to make, that is going to make all the difference in a breakdown later on in the relationship with the contractor, because they're not going to get through it halfway and realize that they're not getting paid anything, and they start doing shoddy workmanship, or they start taking on other jobs to compensate for your job and taking down payments from other people. And it just doesn't, it just doesn't jive well when you let them bid the wrong way. So when I say bidding with accuracy, there's a lot of different programs out there that can do this. Now, I happen to use, this is HammerPoint. They don't even call it HammerPoint anymore. I believe they call it Rehab Estimator. This is a product of a RealFlow, and you all know I'm a RealFlow user, and I've been a RealFlow user for probably a decade, and then it's kind of morphed into me working on their mentoring program and working on their podcast and some other projects with them. But I have tried all sorts of different programs out there. I really, really do love RealFlow for the simplicity of all the things that it does. So with this, it doesn't just tell you what things are going to cost. It allows you to modify them for your area. And let me explain. I was on the phone with a builder in New York the other day, and he was telling me, oh, he's a remodeler. He buys and sells and remodels in Manhattan. And he was telling me a home Depot grade bathroom. We all know what a Home Depot grade bathroom is. It might have ceramic tile, but we can picture the toilet, the tub, and the surround, or the toilet, the tub with the ceramic tile around there. We can picture what the faucets are like. We can picture what the hand towels are like. It's all the stuff we put in our flips, just like Pulte would put in theirs. Starts at $42,000 in Manhattan because of the permitting and because of the drawings, because of the inspections. 42 grand. So clearly you would have to modify what things cost in your bidding platform based on your area and based on the labor that you have available to you, because different folks have different labor available to them. A lot of people here in RIA, we have connections with one another where you could say, hey, I need to put a roof on my house. And I might have someone that's 40 a square off and 40 a square on. So $80 a square plus you buy the materials. Other people are paying $800 a square labor and materials, which is more than double what I just described. So you have to know what tools you have available towards you. So utilizing RealFlow, and actually Gary Angel, if one of you guys could throw that link in there. This is not a big sales pitch for RealFlow, but I'm giving you a link where you can get it. And there's a 14-day trial in there that you can get as well.
We just sent it out.
Okay. Feel free to jump on there, take the 14-day trial. I recommend the middle one because I think in the next month or two, I'm going to talk about wholesaling and finding off-market properties. And I utilize it for that as well. And there's a great way to build lists off of there, but I'm not going to that tonight. But just for your rehabs, an amazing tool. Now, by no such imagination is this the only one out there. There's plenty of things. As a matter of fact, if you're really talented with Excel, you could build your own Excel spreadsheet that's going to do this based on multipliers, saying this many square feet, it cost me this for labor and this many square feet for materials. But the one thing that you do have to do is you have to put a standard in place. You have to be able to put a standard of how much something costs per square foot or per square or square footage of the house or whatever it is. You have to have something that's going to be an accurate way of bidding a job. For instance, if you should be able to look at a bathroom remodel, I mean, for me, I know I can go in and remodel a full bathroom for about $3,500 labor and materials without getting too super fancy. That Home Depot grade bathroom where he was saying it's $42,000, I can do it for about $3,500. Now I've got to really watch my cost on that, and I really have to babysit whoever's doing it, make sure they're not going over anything else. But it's very possible to do it. So you have to know those numbers so you can look at a house quickly and understand quickly what it's going to cost you to do the project, because money loves speed. And that's how I'm going to give you guys a secret right now, how I get a lot of houses before other people get them, because I can make a decision in 30 seconds. I can look at that and I don't have to go back and say, well, I want to run 5 of my contractors through and I want to talk to all these people and I want to see what the price of tile is. I can look and tell you exactly, not exactly, but pretty darn close what I can get it done for. Now, of course, there's going to be some overages. And of course, when you're going through this, you're going to change your mind through it as well. But at least you have an idea of a starting point. So get your accuracy put together. I suggest checking out RealFlow, or at least put together a list of roof, siding, windows, carpet, paint, landscape. Make a list of anything that you could honestly imagine, and then break it down into 3 different categories, which this will also do with RealFlow. You're going to have 3 different levels. You're going to have just a down and dirty, like rental grade, just as cheap as you can get it done to make it functional. So if you're buying a building in a D area that, you know, you're going to spend, you know, $10,000, $12,000 on the property, and you're going to get up and running for maybe 20, 25 all in, and rent it for $750 a month. That is just a clean, safe way of making it work with no frills. Then you're going to have just the working class blues. That's just the working class. They're out there hitting 9 to 5. You're talking about a Pulte home that's maybe $150,000 that's over in Parma or Berea, entry-level Strongsville, wherever it is. And they're just, it's nice. It's clean. It's respectable. It's builder's grade, like Pulte or Ryan or Wayne Homes that put something like that in one of their starter homes. That's going to be a mid-grade. And then you want to have, if you're looking at a house that's the lap of luxury. I looked at a house last week, and some of you may have seen this. It's probably under contract by now. There was a 10,000 square foot house on the lake for sale in Bracknell, and the bidding was on Hubzu, and the bidding I think was like $592 or something like that. So I went and looked at it, but your finishes to make that house worth $1 million or $1.5 million, whatever you're going to try to get, it's going to cost so much when you're doing 9 bathrooms, and they've all got to be rock star awesome. You can't really do builder's grade because that's going to devalue the house. It's like putting hubcaps on a Mercedes. You can't. You got to have nice rims, the correct ones for the car. You have the correct bathroom, the correct kitchen, the correct woodwork, the trim, the cabinetry, the lighting fixtures, the doorknobs, all have to be correct for the caliber of home that you're putting together there. So getting your bidding right, extremely important, great foundation. If you can get that right, you are really ahead of the game, because that is where most people fall apart. And that's going to bring my next point here of, I know it sounds crazy, but you're going to do a contract before you even have your contractor, because you want to have a contract in place to what would work for you. Because remember, this is your project, your money, your vision, your dreams. You're the one that has everything to gain and everything to lose. The other individual is your worker. Think of this. If you showed up to take a job somewhere, let's say you showed up and you're going to go work at the, the Amazon. That seems like Amazon's the biggest employer in the world these days. If you're working at the Amazon warehouse, when you walk in there for a job, do you hand them a contract and say, hey, I'm here to work. By the way, I jotted some things down. I'm going to work from 7 to 2 and take Wednesdays off. I like to have an hour and a half lunch. You're going to need to pay me up front too. I like to have a week up front if that helps. What would they say to you? What would that look like when you walked into an employer or to someone that you're going to do work for and you started kicking out all the rules? Well, see how crazy that sounds? But why doesn't it sound crazy when we're dealing with contractors? We let them come in there and take control of the bus and start driving any direction they want, and that's not how it should be. You need to have control. Have that contract put together saying, look, I have a kitchen. This is the kitchen I want. This is what it's going to cost. I'm going to order all these materials ahead of time. This should take you no more than 5 days. And over these 5 days, I'm willing to pay, I don't know what you're going to say, $5,000 to put this kitchen together. But I'm going to give you 7 days to get it done. If you get it done 2 days early, I'm giving $100 a day bonus. If you go over the 7 days, I'm taking $100 off of your $5,000 or off your $5,000. Come up with what works for you. Give bonuses, give penalties, create the contract, hand it to them, say, are you interested in this? Is this something that you could do? Just think if you are Taylor Swift getting signed to a record label. Again, she doesn't bring the contract. They bring the contract to her. Maybe now she does because she's so well known, but starting out, they're like, hey, listen, we're going to give you $1 million. You're going to produce us 2 albums, this many songs. You're going to do a 20-state tour, and we have you for the next couple of years. Sign here or don't sign here. If you don't want to sign here, there's another great singer at the bar down the street. We'd love to talk to him. So get your contract right. Make sure it's fair for you. Make sure it's fair for the contractor. It has to be a win-win situation. Don't set out to make it one-sided. Set out to be extremely fair and extremely detailed. Do not confuse this contract with something that you're going to litigate over, because 9 out of 10 contractors, they don't have anything to litigate to take. This is more or less just to spell out the terms and conditions and win an argument down the road. This is not to go and sue them and get a judgment that's uncollectible. I know it's not what you want. Yes?
In all the miscellaneous papers that we have, do we have an example of the contract that you're speaking about? I've had a question concerning that.
If we don't, we can certainly put one on there, and I'm sure we can have it there in the network, which we'll talk about a little bit. We'll have it there in the forums of the network here shortly.
Okay.
And you can grab that. It'll be a plug and play that it's something, of course, this is for entertainment purposes. You should have looked over by a professional, but it's something that you may or may not want to use that some of us may or may not use in the past. But yes, we will have it there. So now that we have the contract ready to go, how are we going to choose the right contractor? I have HVAC contractor on there, but it's just contractor. I'm not a graphic artist. I am an internet thief, and I stole this image off of Google. I know it's crazy. So how do you choose the right contractor? Well, I can tell you how to choose the wrong contractor, and anyone that has been in the business knows this is true. Dress kind of nice one day. Go put on a nice little Oxford shirt, maybe a pair of khakis, and go walk through Home Depot looking for materials. Steel Yard's the most fun. So when you go through Steel Yard and you have all these contractors running up to you, handing you their cards and saying, I can do everything. I've been building houses since I was 9 with my grandpa. I can do it from foundation to roof. Hire me. I need work. I can help you with this. If it's Wednesday afternoon, you're walking around Home Depot, you know how to do everything. Why do you need work? That's confusing me, how they need work at that point in time. So that is not how to hire them. Hiring somebody for specialties is definitely better, and micromanaging, not micromanaging, but micro placing, I should say, the people in the right positions. You got to have the right people on your bus, and you have to have the right people in the right seats on that bus. If you have the wrong people on the bus, that's a big problem. If you have the right people on the bus, but they're in the wrong seats, that's a problem. And I'm stealing that from the book Traction. If anyone's ever read the book Traction, I'd suggest the Cliff Notes version. It's a little long-winded, but it's basically just saying the same thing I just said, having the right people in the right seats on the right bus. So if you have someone, like if you're wiring the house, well, look, let's break it down like this. Let's use some of our own people here. You know, when gutting and cleaning the house, I'm going to call J-Dog or I'm going to call Leroy Kime, one of those two, or maybe both of them, to how big the job is, and say, start emptying this darn place out, loading those trailers, and get it out of here and get it broom clean. That's the main thing. I'm not going to call my Amish crew in there that's going to be framing it out and have them clean it out. That's not what they're good at. That's not what they're fast at. That's what they want to do. As a matter of fact, they would resent me and get mad at me if I had them cleaning that out, because they don't like to get that dirty. They like to work with new, clean lumber and make it right. So then after I got it cleaned out, then I would bring in the Amish crew and I would have them frame everything out and give them a contract saying, here's a pile of lumber. Here's what I need done. Here's how much time I'm going to give you to do it. And here's how I'm going to pay you. Very simple. Boom, boom, boom. Get them to do that. You're not going to get this right the first time, but you're going to get close. Then you might bring in the electrician, bring in a plumber. Then you're going to maybe bring in HVAC tech. You're going to bring in a drywall. You're going to bring in a trim company. You get the point. Breaking it down, being your own general contractor. As investors, a lot of times we get lazy and want to hire just a one-man band, someone that does it all. Well, again, using music as an example, if you're using music as an example, how many people are going to go see a concert and it's a one-man band over there running between the drums and the keyboard and the guitar and singing? It's ridiculous. It's going to be a cluster. It's going to be a disaster. They're not going to be able to do anything great. Was a jack of all trades, master of none. It doesn't work. Look at the ones that have really made it in this world. Not rehabbers like us, but I'm talking like Pulte, Ryan Homes, Wayne Homes, these big national builders that just build thousands of homes. They don't have their painter installing cabinets. Although most tradespeople know how to do everything, on a large rehab, you're going to want to break it down. Now, there are times on more of a handyman type jobs and a lipstick job that you're just trying to put something together, one contractor can do it all. You know, Rebecca here, she'll come in between these houses and do paints and cleanups and touch up trim and maybe fix a couple doorknobs, does just all the stuff. You're not going to bring in different contractors for sprucing something up like that. That could be a one-person job or one crew job, I should say. So make sure you're choosing the right person for the right job at the right time and having it all dialed in there. So what happens now with keeping the money in line with the work? If you've been paying attention to this point, you've never heard me say anything about giving a deposit or giving a down payment, because that's not what you do. You don't give deposits and down payments to contractors. When you give deposits and down payments to contractors, it's really taking a large chance. And I have a private consulting client. I don't do a lot of the coaching, the 0 to 1 crowd, but when people are up and running and have problems in real estate with their portfolio or whatever. Some people aren't looking to buy anything from me. They're not looking to sell anything, but they definitely need my help. So he came to me and hired me to help him through a problem. He had a rehab going. And his it was a multi-unit, and the one unit, he way overpaid to get this thing rehabbed, and it still wasn't right. So he'd taken it back over now, and I got involved, and he needed to get a second unit done. I said, okay, step one, do not give anyone a down payment. It's very simple. Line up what you want to do, identify what you want to have done, put your budget together, put a contract together, and buy all the materials. Now, when I say buy all the materials, don't go pick the materials out for that contractor, because every contractor likes to do something different. Think of a cook in the kitchen. They all have their own ingredients, their own spices, things they like more than others. You know, like my wife, for instance, she cooks with olive oil, which is great. Even the olive oil spray, versus my mom growing up, she cooked with Pam spray. You know, the fattening stuff. That's probably why I'm fat. It's not because my wife's, because my mom, I'm fat. That's why. So everyone likes something different. So when these contractors, some of them like working with different types of materials. So the way I handle that is through RIA, we actually have a pro account there at Home Depot, which when you run things to the bid room of over $2,500, you get deals on it. And what I do is I say, go to Home Depot, pick out everything you need. First of all, tell me when you're going to go. Don't just ambush me and call me at 7 o'clock in the morning. I might be in a meeting or something. Let me know when you're going to go within an hour or so. Pick up all your stuff. You take it to the pro desk. You give them a pro rewards number, whether you use our number or your own pro rewards number, whichever you choose to do. If you're not that active in investing, you might just want to use ours. If you're a very active rehabber doing lots of these, use your own. Give them the pro rewards number. Then the pro desk is going to call you. When they call you, have your credit card ready. You want to tell them the job name, so it's all in the same job name. And you also want to ask them, very importantly, are there any tools on this? Do we have any tools? Because that's very important. These contractors will try sneaking in saws and extra things. They're always going to sneak in Monsters and Rockstar energy drinks and all that stuff. That goes without saying. I let that stuff slide. But everything else, no tools. You almost always catch that. Then you pay, and that comes off of whatever the contract is, and you've paid. Now, as they get started on a job and they have a week now ticking from what they've bought, now you have milestones on there. There's milestones. You don't want to starve the individual out, but you also don't want to pay them ahead of time. Remember showing up at Amazon for work and asking them for your first week's pay before you start? How they look at you like you had, a tail? I mean, it's just crazy. It's the same thing with contractors. You don't give them money before they start, but you do say, hey, look, you're going in, you're putting a kitchen in. So once, let's say, the whole thing is rough wired, you get paid, Mr. Electrician, and then you get the last half of your money when you come back and do the finish electrical on it. Now your next guy's there and he's putting the cabinetry in. So, hey, let's skip the cabinetry. Let's say your next guy's putting in the drywall next. So that you have a contractor that's going to handle your drywall and finishing it, painting it, and putting your cabinetry in. That's not too big a chunk to give them. So you might say, hey, once you hang and finish the drywall, I give you a draw. Once you have it all primed and painted, you get a draw. Once you get the cabinet set, you get a draw. So you give them draws along the way. Now you're always going to have situations where they're going to need a little extra money. And that's going to be a business decision that you need to make if you're going to lend them money. But just think about, if one of your friends came to you and borrowed money, would you lend it to them? Would you not lend it to them? That's something that you have to kind of take into consideration. How long of a relationship do you have with this individual? I've had relationships with contractors where they said, Rob, I need some money. Here's $1,000, man. Just work it off. Because we've had a 2-year relationship with them doing the right thing. On day one, would I do it? No, of course not. I mean, a lot of contractors, and I'm not talking bad about them, a lot of them are really good people. Some of them just have made some poor life choices, but they do amazing work. I always make the joke that I say a little addiction keeps them motivated. A lot of addiction is really bad. It puts them into rehab and has them stealing your plumbing. So if someone just likes to go have beers after work, cool. Work out something where you pay them every day. Every day you're giving them a chunk of money as long as they're hitting certain goal lines. Whatever it is, do what works for you and works for them, but always make sure that if you get in the situation where they did disappear, you're not out anything. You could replace them and you're not going to have to go back and try to make up for lost money that was stolen. Because going back to my coaching client that I was consulting with, I told him all of this, and if he's on this, I'd love for him to have a comment on it. I said, hey, this is exactly what you do. I didn't hear from him for like a month. I called to see how he's doing, and he's like, my contractor's not showing up. I'm like, yeah, perfect. You know what? Just hire another one there, dude. Very easy if you need to refer someone. I can't because I gave him $9,000 down, and now he's telling me he has COVID and he can't work, and he said that, you know, he's waiting for Windows to come in and blah, 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 blah. A disaster. Now he's being held hostage by this contractor because the contractor has more money than he's done work. So they're staying in there longer. The only thing you can hope for is they take on another job, take a down payment, use that down payment to finish your job, and you can cut ties or get them back on track, whichever you choose. But what happens when you are off track? How do you fix this? How do you fix when you're off track and you're having problems? Well, the first thing is document, document, document. When you think you can't document anymore, you got to do it even more than that. Like things are not done verbally anymore. Now things are all done through text messaging. Love text messaging. And speaking of like keeping track of things, Cash App is another thing I love using. The Cash App, if you don't have it, grab it. If someone out there does have it, refer your friends to it because I think they give you $15 now, which is pretty cool. I've gotten a lot of those little $15 hits. So Cash App is a way for the contractor to show you pictures of what they've done for the day and you to send them money over a couple $100 versus driving from your home in North Royalton to the east side of Cleveland to go pay them on a Friday night. So use Cash App, and that also gives a great track record for not only what you've paid them so far, but also for your accounting to show that. And snapshotting all these pictures and showing a report on there of exactly what you paid for what job.
Rob,
Now,
we have another question.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit me.
All right, this is from Shine Raju. I hope I pronounced it properly. What about the inspections? Do you have a general contractor inspect the property if it is a 2x4 multifamily home? Or do you get the specialist contractors to come for the inspection?
If I were going to get the inspection for the home, I would use our inspector that we have in the group here. And gosh, I went through them earlier. I mean, if you guys can go back through, I don't see them on my screen here right now. I think it's private. It's
I'll put it out to the group.
Put it out to the group on there. I apologize to our vendor sponsor for not having your name at the top of my head, but it kind of just threw out there. But I would use an independent inspector for that prior to closing. I would do it after getting it in contract, but before you closed on it, I would get the inspection if you don't know how to walk it yourself. I personally don't use home inspections because I've been through enough of them and I can look even pictures and pretty much see what's going on with the house. But if you're a novice, I would just get an independent third-party inspector. And the reason why is because they don't have a vested interest of what you fix and what you don't fix. They're there just to tell you what should be fixed. See, a contractor might be telling you more stuff needs done than needs done, actually. And because it's better for them to make more money. And there's some stuff you don't need to take to that level because it might be, you know, an entry-level rental property versus the lap of luxury that you'd be working with. So using an independent third-party inspector, that would be a good idea to do that. General contractor, you can have them walk through. That would be fine too. But definitely break it down and don't let them have the entire job. And if they do, you really, really, really got to keep them on a short leash. So back to when they're off track, text messaging becomes your best friend. Everything is a text message. Everything is texting and outlining expectations and getting them to respond in a certain way. Now you don't want to manipulate them, but you want to pigeonhole them to you're saying, okay, I understand you're looking for a draw. You asked me to pay you in advance on this because you were a little behind on money. I have no problem with switching our draw schedule up. However, you said you needed $500 and you indicated to me that you can have all the kitchen cabinets set by Friday. So I'm in agreement to pay you $500 on Friday if the kitchen cabinets are set. Does this seem like it works for you? Yes or no? Yes or no? They say yes, boom. Thanks, I'll see you on Friday. Well, Friday rolls around and they're saying, hey, do you have that $1,000 for me? It's very easy to go back and say, you said $500 on Friday to have this set. So it keeps everything in order. Documentation like crazy. And text messaging is very, very easy to do. Have lots of pictures. Use text messaging for pictures as well. Have them text you pictures of the progress throughout the day, throughout the week. Explain to them, I need this for my investors. I need this for my records. I need this for my buyers. Whatever it is, have them show you. Because another thing, if you know that you're a kid and you're working on your book report, and you know every hour mom or dad's coming in to check your book report to see how much progress you made, you're more apt to make more progress because you're going to get checked. So if you're asking for daily photo updates to be texted to your telephone, now they're more apt to actually do more work because they know they're being held accountable. And they know that if they get off track, there's a good chance that it could be removed from the job because they can lose a job because remember, this is not their favorite job to deal with. They did not get money down and they are not ahead on payment based on work. They are getting paid for performance. So they have to perform. So you want to keep them on track. And if they don't want to stay on track, you want to replace them. Make sense to everybody on that? So now let me try to give you a solution here. I'm going to bring on our very own Mike at Service Sold. And Mike, I can either relinquish the screen so we don't have to stare at the Service Sold and let your mug come on there and talk for a few minutes, not only about Service Sold, which is just a wonderful service. And Mike is also the instructor at our RIA University. And for those who don't know what RIA University is, it's like what we're talking about tonight on steroids. It is a multi-week class that's in a collegiate setting at Indiana Wesleyan where Mike teaches this. And I didn't realize what a big deal Mike was. And we had our housing judge in last year as one of our speakers to talk about housing court. And as soon as he walks in, he was fangirling Mike saying, is Mike Dennis here? I'm like, how do you know Mike Dennis? Is Mike in trouble with housing court all the time like I am? And no, I went to Mike's class years ago. He's the best professor ever at this. And that was all the social proof I needed to know, wow, we've got the right guy in the right seat on the right bus to take our people to the next level. So go ahead. I'm not wasting up your time here. Let me take about 5 minutes or so and give it to Mike and have him explain Service Sold and a little bit about RIA University and how to further educate us on this.
Thanks, Rob. Great job. You did a really comprehensive overview on what some of the students and the investors and the people out there go through just when they want to rehab a house to beautify it and make a lot of money as an investor or just beautify your own home. Service Sold was invented for the problems that Rob's mentioning. Manually going through this is very trying. It's very time consuming. It's very draining. And sometimes you can actually lose a ton of money as an investor when you're using the wrong service providers and things like that. So what we did is we got together with the best people that we could, and we decided to invent a platform where you could digitize, if you will, okay, and create the eBay of service. What Service Sold is a platform where you're auctioning off your jobs. It doesn't cost you anything for you to use at all. And we've partnered with auction.com and some of the other giants out there where all you want to do is post some pictures or description of what your job entails as best you can. You're not an expert, just do the best you can. You can put a video as well. And the service providers now come to you and you can review and say no, 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 and finally yes. And the real great thing about Service Sold too is you can really use what we call the spotlight effect. You know, when I first started in the business, I started using a platform, maybe you've heard of Echo Bay, which is now called eBay. And the spotlight effect is so powerful that it really cleans up a lot of the mistakes that the manual people have. Rob did a great job touching on all the problems they can have when it goes off track. What we do as a game plan is we tell people never pay ahead or you will be dead. Because if you're keeping payment as you go, and Rob talked about that, and that's what Service Sold specializes in, you're going to be in great shape. Pick who you want, and we make the first 8%. Contractor makes the other 92%, so it doesn't affect you at all. They're paying basically to connect with you, so it works for both parties. So we hope you give that a try. We're trying to branch that out into other states now. And once again, it's free for you to use. Give it a try. I think you're going to get great results. Switching over to some other things, Rob touched on the GC University. In about a month, we're going to launch the program, and it's run semi-annually in the fall and in the spring. We always have a big audience there. We're going to take you as if you have nothing and know nothing and just have a burning desire to make it. 7 out of 8 people are very unhappy with their career, and they're looking for something different. And this is going to lead you there. You're going to be in one kind of pain or the other, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be in poverty pain or growing pain. Worst of all, the pain of regret. So get in there. It's very affordable. It's very friendly to all walks of life. You're going to get the power of assembly with people that are next to you. You're going to get connected with all these top professionals. Our job is not just information. It's not just education. It's transformation. And that's the highest level. And that's what we concentrate on. That's what we've been doing successfully since 1993, when dinosaurs roamed the earth. So we're going to bring you in here, and we're going to make sure that you're doing this. This is going to be the hub for the state, certainly the area for collegiate level education for any of the club members and the RIA members throughout the state. But we want you there. We want you in person. We want you rubbing elbows with the best of the best. And we want you to really know that all you need is heart. All you need is effort. Don't worry about the ins and outs of the business. Success in this business is 80% mindset, only 20% technique. Rob and I can teach you the technique in one day. Don't worry about the technique. I can teach you how to hit a home run in about 30 seconds. That doesn't mean you're going to go out and do it one day. We're going to worry about your mindset, show you the techniques, really put you out there so you can change your life and have generational wealth for many, many years and take care of those people that you care about. So we hope to see you there March 15th. It's super affordable. Gary does a great job always handling that. He's the glue of the operation. He's going to make sure you're signed up. You can do it in person or you can do it by Zoom. They're all recorded. It's very affordable. You have nothing to lose. All right, get in there. All I expect you to do is match my effort. All right, we're in your face about it all the time. We want you to be there. We want you to mask up, and we want you to show up. All right, we're going to beat this pandemic this year. We had a tough year last year. We all died a little bit last year, one way or the other. So we're going to bounce back with a great year, and we hope to see you there March 15th.
Wow, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. The only thing I got to disagree with, elbow to elbow is 6 feet away.
That's right, in this world.
That could have said it better. Great. And yeah, it's going to be a wonderful thing. You can go right there to the class, and it's also going to be available via Zoom. And it's not a Zoom like this. It's a much more entertaining and exciting because they have the real technology there at the university where they have cameras that follow Mike around and he answers questions interactively. So it's much more personal than this is.
Another question.
Yes.
This is from Jeff, and he asks, who do you recommend for a wholesale double closings?
Well, it has nothing to do, Jeff, with this topic, but I will touch it. First of all, double closings are illegal in the state of Ohio, and double closing is defined as using your buyer's funds to fund a previous transaction at a title company without having your own transactional funding in place or your own capital in place. So you would actually be talking about doing transactional funding or doing an assignment of contract. Any title company will do anything you would like as long as it's legal, ethical, and full disclosure. Some title companies will require all parties to sign the assignments. Other title companies will only make one party sign the assignment, but somebody is definitely going to know how much your assignment fee is going to be. If you need transactional funding or you need to learn about assignments, you can feel free to reach out to me if you'd like, and I will take a closer look at your deal and help you decide exactly how to structure it in the end game. And I believe next month we're going to be talking all about wholesaling, and we will cover that more there and dive into it deeper. Does that answer your question? Roundabout way?
Yep, very good.
Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's fast forward and think of the next 6 months. You're 6 months from now. And maybe you've learned some more stuff. Maybe you've decided to take action. You know, we all get, I guess, inspired to learn more. You'll see us going, yeah, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to learn how to go out and figure my jobs to stay on point, on budget. But that just kind of washes away. That just goes away. It's something you got to make a commitment to. It's no different than New Year's Eve. And you're saying, tomorrow I'm starting. It's a new day. Well, how many of us has lost weight this year? I'm sure losing weight's the number one thing. What are we doing to work towards that? And what are you doing to work towards your goals? Because what happens is there's no such thing as luck. It's when opportunity meets preparation. And if you take these next 6 months and you actually prepare, and you can be the one that's there beating me to the buzzer when I'm looking at a property, and you're ready to make an offer as fast as I can make an offer because you've prepared and you know how much it costs to put things together. So think about that. What are you going to do? I'm not saying that it has to be Real Flow. I'm not saying it has to be RIA. I'm not saying it has to be anything. But do something that's going to put you in the right direction. I would say get involved with RIA. The Real Estate Investors Association, this is a whopping $22 a month now, is all it is. And Gary, if you'll put that the link up there, because we are in the process right now of launching, and you see on this link, our online network. Our network isn't some like weird Facebook group or something. It is a 24/7 private network where you really can go on and see who else is online, ask questions. We have daily focus calls, whether it's from getting hard money, talking about rehabbing, talking about finding off-market deals, doing a wants and needs. Every day there's a call where we're actually on there doing deals. Having a problem with the city, get on there and ask someone, hey, I'm having a problem in South Euclid. Who's an inspector over here? Who has a contractor that's licensed over here? That's what it's about. So really, COVID for us, as bad as it's been for the country, has actually pushed us in a direction that's taking us into the next generation of RIA groups. No more once a month only. It becomes a living, breathing group where we're all there for one another. And here's the thing, on that link, it's not just $22 a month, no commitment, canceling time, not even hard to cancel. Pick up the phone and say, I don't want to be a part of it. We're giving you 30 days for free. And if you're already a RIA member, just let Gary or Angel know that you're already a RIA member, and we'll credit all that towards this group. So it's really a risk-free, but it's something that's going to require all of us to get involved in, because you can't have a community without people. And next, sign up for RIA University. You got to sign up. It's like these classes out there that are $50,000 and all these coaching and boot camps and everything else they have, it doesn't hold a candle to what you're getting there. And how much is it, Mike? 150. I don't want to say how much is the RIA U.
Gary has the pricing on that. Gary, what do we got coming up for the special coming up for the new year?
Yeah, it's $100 plus your membership plus $100.
It's your membership and $100. It's
I
almost
will tell you, all the time that we've ever done this, I had one person call me and say, Gary, I just didn't get anything out of it. I refunded his money. It didn't make any sense to keep it.
I didn't even know that story, but I can tell you that brings my next point. There is no risk whatsoever, not a sales pitch. If you join RIA and you show up at these meetings and you go to RIA University and you just look at us and say, I just don't get anything out of this, no worries. Be happy to refund your money and send you on your way. So there's really no risk at all. So you get 30 days for free and you get all your money back if you didn't get anything out of it. So there's our big sales pitch for the night. And it's really more for us to all be a community, all work together, selfish reasons, because the more of you guys that are involved and buying and selling houses and running rehabs and doing things that are active in the market, the better it is for all of us as a community. It's better for all of us that we can all actually work together, because I have more people to buy from, more people to sell to, more people to lend to, more people to borrow from. It's just all more people playing the game. Vegas isn't fun if there's only 2 poker players there. It's fun if there's a bunch. So all risk is taken away. Does anybody have any questions whatsoever? If you have any questions at all, you can always go, if you have questions for me directly afterwards, you can visit me at askthehouseguy.com. That's askthehouseguy.com. And we can either have a one-on-one phone call, or you can actually just ask me the question on there, and I will shoot you a quick video and answer your question. So askthehouseguy.com, you can go on there and do that. And if you're interested in becoming a member or a vendor, you can visit our website or call us directly at greaterclevelandria.com, or there's our telephone number, the 440-485-3443. Don't forget, the second Tuesday of every month is our live monthly meeting. I'm saying live very loosely right now because it is our live meeting online. But man, I hope pretty soon we get back to live meetings, because I miss seeing everybody and actually pressing palms and having some nice muscle vodka there in the lounge at the Holiday Inn afterwards. And next month, our topic will be announced. I'm thinking it's going to be wholesaling because that's a pretty hot topic, and that brings a lot of value to everybody. If anyone else has any ideas, let us know that as well. And make sure every monthly meetings you visit, because there's off-market properties. We have recordings of this webinar on our Facebook page, and contact for all of our vendors. And that concludes everything for tonight. And 7 o'clock on the dot, we held our promise to you, just like we always do. And we will see everyone next month, second Tuesday of the month. The topic to be determined. I'll see you guys on Facebook in the meantime. Have a great night.
Well done,
Everybody
gentlemen.
there?
Yep, well done, guys.
Yeah, very good. We held all of the people right till the end, so it was very good. And Mike,
Yes, sir.
trying to think how to say this. Now that I see you on camera, I think it was a mistake.
Oh, my God.
No, you look good, and it was
Thank you, sir.
much better.
Thank
Much
you.
better. All right, very good.
All right. Hey, Gary, the only thing I want to talk to you about real fast is we still working on, I'm upgrading some of the slides for, because I want us to capture the state. It's a very important transition for us. And also, whoever you have as an in-class moderator to answer the questions like you're doing, we don't have that person. That's a key cog in this machine right now.
Do you
I'm
have any
telling
suggestions?
Angel can do it. If
Just
Angel
so,
can do it, or you,
Just so you know, we're still live, so anybody who's still on here is hearing us, so don't say anything bad.
no, Angel can do it. She's tremendous. Anybody that anybody that's listening, if you get free education,